seemingly innocent images with extraordinary backstories that will prick your mind. Today, Curious Panda presents to you pictures with backstories that shift from the saddest inspiring to no doubt cringe moments, so brace yourself. Let's start with number 1, the Eyes of Hate. Here is an image of Nazi propaganda minister Joseph Goebbels, one of Hitler's most devout underlings and a man who became known for his homicidal anti-Semitism. Goebbels was initially friendly towards the photographer 𝗬𝗓𝗧𝗟𝗓𝗓, who was able to capture several photos showing the Nazi politician in a good and cheerful mood. But as soon as Goebbels learned of the Jewish blood flowing through 𝗬𝗓𝗧𝗟𝗓's veins, he suddenly changed, and the previously cheerful mood turned into what is now known as the Eyes of Hate. Number 2. Terezka Scrawls. The haunting image was taken in a home for emotionally disturbed children in Warsaw in 1948. The assignment that day was to draw home on the blackboard. While other kids drew houses, Terezka, who grew up in a concentration camp, had a bizarre idea of what home looks like. No one is sure as to what the drawing depicts, but the haunting sadness and the horror she endured on the camp are clearly visible in the eyes of Terezka. Number 3. The Girl on the Float. This seems to be an average picture of a girl sitting on a float, but the backstory of it is anything but normal. It was taken in 1961 by one of the crew members of a ship who saw the girl, 𝗪𝗔𝗚𝗦𝗢𝗓, floating on a collapsing float. The 11-year-old girl drifted for 4 days without water or food, burned by the sun and severely traumatized until she was found floating on a small white craft. Her hair was blonde because of the bleaching effect of the sun rays, and she was wearing pale pink shirt. When interviewed, they found out that her whole family had been murdered on a sailboat by the captain they hired. The captain left her to drown with a sinking boat, but she miraculously survived and made it to the lifeboat. Number 4. Camp staff taking a day off. This image shows a group of Auschwitz staff enjoying their moment during days off. What is disturbing about this image is the contrast between how relaxed they appear and what was happening at the camp, particularly they being involved in the industrial murder of fellow human beings and then laughing and enjoying a retreat. They look like camp counselors, but their job is killing people in horrible ways, and they don't seem to have any problems with it. Number 5. The Missing Big Island Hiker. A 17-year-old kid went missing while hiking Haiku Stairs, also known as the Stairway to Heaven, on the Big Island of Hawaii. While he was hiking, he was texting some pictures of the scenery, but after that, he never showed up at home again.
The critical third day of search is over, and still no sign of a teenager apparently lost on a forbidden trail.
Until his family noticed somebody is lurking in the bushes in the photos he sent. Their family that lives in Hawaii said that the spot is illegal to hike at, so it's not expected to be a heavily populated trail. The Honolulu Fire Department have already scanned the area for 5 days. Volunteer groups continue to search for the missing hiker, but they haven't found him yet. And whoever that mysterious man is, no one knows. Number 6. Father and daughter in Omagh, Northern Ireland. This image of a Spanish father and daughter who were spending happy moments together on a group vacation was taken just moments before the Omagh car bombing in 1998. The bomb was placed by a group known as the Irish Republican Army, or the real IRA, in this red car just beside them. And when the bomb detonated, it killed 29 people, including the photographer who took this image, and 220 more were injured. Miraculously, both the father and daughter survived. Number 7. Motel manager putting acid in the water. This image shows exactly how chaotic was the period of the civil rights movement in 1960s. It shows a group of white and black young people swimming in the pool at Monsoon Motel Motel on June 8, 1964, while the motel manager is pouring bleach on them. 7 days before this incident, Martin Luther King Jr. was also arrested for trespassing at the same motel after being asked to leave its segregated restaurant. A group of protesters decided to fight back peacefully and decided to plan a swim-in the pool designated for whites only as a form of protest. Whites who paid for their room in the motel invited black people to join them in the motel pool as their guests. Then the motel manager Jimmy Brock, in an effort to break up the party, poured a bottle of muriatic acid into the pool to scare the swimmers so that they would leave. Number 8. SS Grandcamp. This appears as an ordinary ship rested on a regular dock on an ordinary day. Again, it is not. This moment was captured on April 16, 1947, and the ship is called SS Grandcamp. A fire has broken out and the men on the docks are members of the Texas City Volunteer Fire Department attempting to extinguish it. But few minutes after this photo was taken, it detonated in one of the largest non-nuclear explosions in human history. 468 people had died, more than 5,000 were injured. Number 9. Children for sale. In 1948, just after the war, this image of 4 children is seen on their front stairs while their mother hides her face in humiliation. 𝗙𝗪𝗧𝗟𝗧𝗟𝗢 was only 24 years old but pregnant with their 5th child at that time. Her husband has lost a job and the family is facing eviction from their apartment. To evade possible homelessness, the parents choose to auction off their children. All the children were eventually bought off. Some, as rumors have spread, were forced into slavery. Number 10. Mishap at Hermosa Beach. This image might give you the impression of a romantic moment between couples at Hermosa Beach. It is not. Instead, this shows a couple after realizing that their child, about 1.5 years old, had been swept out to the sea. On April 2, 1954, photographer Jan Gont was in his beach home when he heard the commotion. When he saw the couple clutching each other by the sea, he snapped their picture and rushed to the shore. He found out that the couple's 19-month-old son, who had been playing in their yard, had somehow managed to wander off to the beach and had disappeared into the waves.